Welcome, nerds of the internet, and this is another episode of Between Nerds, episode 98. Mugen Train, Demon Slayer,
Between Nerds podcast.
Between Nerds podcast. I'm here with Drew Elias and Aldo Mendes. Welcome, nerds.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Between Nerds podcast. Second week in a row recording. Really proud of us after that 2-week period off.
Yes.
I think we did everyone justice by doing that. What was it? 3.5, 4.5 hour episode with CJ?
Yes, sir.
Was it 3.5 or 4.5?
It was 3.5.
3.5? Why am I thinking 4.5? Because we recorded for like 5 hours.
We recorded for like 5 hours.
But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. At around the same time you all are listening to this episode, the YouTube video for the part 2 of our Stardust Crusaders discussion with CJ should be up on YouTube. The audio quality is a little weird. We're still getting used to it. Please be patient with us. But we don't want to just be sitting on like extra content. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was sharing a tweet with Aldo the other day that John Green of the Vlog Brothers on YouTube was talking about how in 2007 it took them 200 videos for them to get 300 subs on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And we're getting a video out there a week. We're getting an episode out there a week. I mean, not just the YouTube videos that you guys see. We have tons of podcast available fucking audio files too.
Mm-hmm. Bunch. Like, honestly, if you guys are discovering us on YouTube, which I don't know how likely that is, but if you are, and you're really desperate for more content, you want to go listen to our voices, please go to all of our podcast episodes are available on all podcast platforms except for Pandora right now.
I don't know.
I guess they're getting sued up the ass so bad that they're taking down podcasts because we own all music used in this episode. Like I'm pretty sure I own the rights to my own voice. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure Aldo owns the rights to his.
I think so.
But we're getting copyright strikes, and the entirety of our discography is no longer available on Pandora. But you can also listen to our episodes on your web browser by visiting betweennerds.podbean.com.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And besides that, what am I supposed to say?
Besides that, if you have an iPhone, Apple Podcast. If you have an Android, you're probably using Spotify or some shit like that. So listen to that on there. Again, on YouTube, if you do happen to use on YouTube, just like it, subscribe, hit a notification bell. So every time we have some content for you, which is every week, you'll be able to hear it and know when it's dropping. Also, this is not our videos are so fucking long. Our recordings are so fucking long. Yeah. And I was telling you off the mic that this is not a 5-minute review video.
No.
There's a tons of that. We want you to sit back. Maybe you have a couple of minutes, listen to this shit, just like you would talk shit about anime. You have shit to talk about.
Because the way we do it, like we've always done it like kind of storytelling with our audience, right? Because that's what gets both mine and your memories going to talk about it, right? Mm-hmm, So if I'm describing Stardust Crusaders, okay, they go to this fight, and this fight. We're gonna spend 30 minutes talking about every fucking fight
because there's something cool in every fucking fight.
Right. And like we have our episodes like Stardust Crusaders or like Violet Evergarden, where we don't even talk about the progression of like the story. We just talk off the cuff for like details. 2 hours, just how it like relates to things we've never been opposed to going down like little rabbit holes of like we want it to be a community, right? So we allow ourselves to insert like nuggets of personal information about our lives and like, oh, this reminds me of so and so that happened to me. Yeah.
No, yeah, and if you wanna give us some of your thoughts in all social media between nerds, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We'll have a Facebook page soon. I'm trying to figure out how to make a page, but. And it feels kind of resentment to when like I don't want to do it with Facebook, but you have to because you're a brand.
Well, honestly, like the nerd communities I do interact with, like all those nerds have Facebook. You know what I mean? Like none of them have a Twitter. Mm-hmm. Some of them have an Instagram.
Yeah, we need to go to fucking
all Facebook. Of them have a Facebook because Facebook's just like the social media.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, if you guys are listening to this. We're gonna talk about Demon Slayer Mugen Train.
Oh yeah. Hold on. We do host a monthly giveaway. So if you want to enter our giveaway for the month of June, please leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts and then email us at betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com, letting us know that written review was you. Mm-hmm. Or you can comment on a YouTube video during the month of June, any video, as long as it's during the month of June, and as long as you're a subscriber, you will also be entered into the giveaway, and we will get you some hand-picked nerd shit. Joseph's Bizarre Adventure will get you Joseph's Bizarre Adventure. Like Mugen Train will get you. Well, if you like Demon Slayer, we'll get you Demon Slayer. If you like, swear to God, Rengoku's your favorite character, we'll get you something cool. And I don't mean just like a figurine. I mean like, I'll find you a Rengoku fucking mug. I don't know.
Yeah, last time we did not know what to get this person because he didn't have any anime taste.
Yeah.
It was Ricky, and we just got him like a fucking fan servicey Bulma, military Bulma.
Yeah, figurine. And then we never heard from him since.
And we never heard from him since. So.
I guess he didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Hopefully you guys will appreciate it. So, you know which one I was thinking about?
Tell me.
The
candy from... The candy from Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah.
The candy, because like that shit's like on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, that's just awesome.
Honestly, every time I think about Grave of the Fireflies, I'm like, I'm never watching that shit a third time. Every single time I think about that movie, I'm like, no, there's never a chance in my life that I'm ever gonna be like, oh, you really need to watch Grave of the Fireflies. I'll watch it with you. That's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna be bored on a Saturday night being like, I should watch Grave of the fucking Fireflies.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we're not talking about Grave of the Fireflies.
There was one more thing I wanted to bring up, especially when it comes to giveaways. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make us a Patreon, and I'm thinking, I don't know how we're gonna do the Patreon. I feel like maybe there should be a giveaway system for that too. I don't know if that would be separate from the giveaway we already do, or if that would replace the giveaway system that we normally do. So, follow us on Twitter. And I'm sure we'll be updating you guys on how the giveaway is going to work from here on out. Or just like, maybe we'll just use Patreon as just like goodwill to people that listen. Like, give $5-10 a month just to help us the fuck out. Maybe we can hire some outside help to help edit a YouTube video for us. And hopefully someday when we get like enough subscribers, we can just pay somebody monthly to do that for us.
Yeah, so please
subscribe and hit us up on Patreon. I'll tweet out the link. I'll probably do it tomorrow. The day you're listening to this, I'll probably be doing it.
Yes, and then now this brings us to episode 98. 98 of Between Nerds. Fucking awesome.
Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer, Mugen Train. This is one of those. I mentioned it last episode. Aldo started yelling at me that we're not doing enough high-profile, popular anime. So I was like, fuck it. We'll do the popular anime. We're gonna do fucking Demon Slayer, right? And so we watched Mugen Train. I guess I've watched it twice already in the past 2-3 weeks because we were supposed to watch it. We were supposed to talk about it like 2-3 weeks ago already.
Correct.
And my car decided to die in Hobbs, New Mexico, so that threw a wrench in that. Get it? Wrench card.
Yeah, I get it, dude. That's fucking crazy. Just. That weekend was fucking wild. Yeah. This past weekend, we're recording on Monday today, Monday, June 20th.
Oh, I almost forgot it's Monday, just because I have the day off. I work for the city, and I have I got it off for June 19th. For Juneteenth. So, and we live in Texas, so like it kind of should have been a Texas holiday forever ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Juneteenth should have been.
Yeah, and let's celebrate fucking equality in this fucking country.
Absolutely. Did you see that in Tennessee there was a large group of white guys holding signs that say like "White Lives Matter," "Stop White Replacement," going to the celebration events for like June 19th in downtown Tennessee?
Oh, not June 19th. No, I heard it for the Pride Parade that they.
Oh, and those fucking weirdos. Fucking white nationalists never miss a fucking Pride Parade, bro. Yeah. That shit's hilarious. But
they never miss
white nationalists never miss a Pride Parade, I'm telling you. And
they're hating, but they're like, yeah.
that was their plan. They all secretly wanted to go.
I think we should go to the Pride Parade, bro, to show them.
What a bunch of fucking haters. Like, June 19th is literally about, like, the last slaves in the United States figuring out that they were freed, right? Because, time, like, news traveled so slowly back then. And then there was also, like a barricade of knowledge to this group of people. Because there was people in power that didn't consider these people.
Correct.
So it took that
nobody has to tell them. They don't know.
Right, exactly. So it took that long for these slaves in Texas to figure it the fuck out. And it's terrible. That's absolutely insane. So, like, I don't understand how somebody could be mad about that. Are you saying that like that they should have never found out they weren't slaves? Like what? Why? I don't understand the counter protest there.
I heard this fucking funny comment that like about like the racist race theory to teach race theory.
Oh, okay. Critical race theory.
Critical race theory. I'm sorry. That is like white nationalists, obviously, and people that fucking also believe in whatever they believe around those people. Like they think is a bad thing, but it's like it's not a bad thing. It doesn't happen early in school. It happens later in college. It's about that conversation, to have the conversation about how bad white people really were, and they get mad about when white people get called on how bad they were.
It's because like I've seen like the political cartoons that like this group of people are like really spreading on like Boomer Facebook about how like a kid's really gonna go to school, learn about how bad slavery is, and like somehow the teachers are gonna point the finger at him and be like, "This is your fault. You should be blamed for this. You should feel like shit." And then they're gonna go home crying and like contemplating their own existence because they learned about what slavery is. Stupidest situation I've ever heard in my life. That's never fucking happened. And it's fantasy. It's like fan theory to make
Sci-fi
yourself feel like a victim.
It's like racist.
Like you're really out here just making shit up because you feel the need to be a victim. Weird. Super weird.
Super crazy. But anyways, what it's even weirder is the Mugen Train.
So Demon Slayer Mugen Train is the arc immediately after the end of season 1. So the ending of season 1 of Demon Slayer, we fought like the lower moon rank 5th, who was like he was a spider demon who had made like a spider family, and his power was that he could like eject spider webbing that was as hard as iron. So then Tanjiro learned that he, besides water breathing, he had access to like the flame dance that he saw his father do because they were charcoal farmers out in the woods in the outskirts of Japan, up in the mountains, whatever. And so Tanjiro kind of unlocked a new power. We found out that Nezuko, after being turned to a demon by Muzan, the king of all demons, in episode 1 of Demon Slayer, that she has developed a blood demon art that she can make her flames explode, her blood explode into flames. And then the very, very last, like 2-3 episodes of that season, where our main group of 3 guys, which is Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu, learned, total concentration breathing constant.
Correct.
Which is like the hacks to total concentration breathing.
And I don't know, the movie itself, I love that it picks up right after the season. Immediately after.
Because the last scene in season 1 is them approaching the train, being like, "Oh, is this our train?" And what's his name? Inosuke freaking out because he's never seen a train before because he grew up in the mountains.
We did talk about it. Yeah. Well, he's so like weird.
He was raised by a boar in the mountain.
Yeah.
So he has no idea anything about civilization. But
they get sent to the district of what we know.
Right. They heal up outside of the butterfly mansion while learning total concentration breathing constant, and that's when they get the crow call. But what I did want to talk about was the OVA. There is an original video adaptation that's an anime-only, non-canon adaptation about what Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, the Flame Pillar, what he was doing the day before he meets up with our guys inside of the Mugen Train.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
what does he do?
He regular Flame Pillar stuff. He kills some demons, gets a call, goes to the train station. There's a girl and her grandmother that are selling boxed lunches inside of the train station, and like they've been hearing stories about how people have been going missing, how they're starting to find bodies, and that they probably shouldn't be selling boxed lunches in the train station in the middle of the night. But you know what I mean? It's 20th century Japan.
Like, you're gonna do it.
Yeah, like you're poor. Like you know what I mean? Like, you gotta feed grandma. You gonna let grandma die? What the fuck?
Yeah, I would sell rocks if I could.
Right, and so with the first time we meet Rengoku in this instance, like something about Rengoku, his character design is like stupendous. Like he stands out like one of the best character designs I've seen on anybody in the past like 4 or 5
Bro,
years.
he looks like a ninja, bro.
Not just a ninja, but like he's
look,
so.
you have a figure right here.
That's not Rengoku.
Oh no, right. Oh, I thought you were talking about this dude. My bad.
No. But yeah, all the Demon
but-
Slayer characters look like super crazy.
Oh, Rengoku looks awesome too.
Right, so Rengoku is like he's only like 17, 18 years old or something like that. Yeah, he's got this ginormous mullet, like big ass sideburns going down his head, but he has yellow orange hair with like red tips, right? With this giant mullet, he's got these giant eyes with these yellow irises. And like the first time you meet him, he's in a ramen shop and he's just like slamming bowls, being like "umai, umai," which is like delicious. You know what I mean? He has such this strong personality.
And I feel, well, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't we see him at the end of the first season once they get to the temple or some shit like that?
Right. So you're right. I'm mistaken.
No. But when we saw him right there.
It was
I don't know.
It was when like Nezuko was on trial.
Yes, exactly. And you meet all the other pillars, but when you see him, he's like
he's like what some of the Marine characters from One Piece. Like he's got a form of justice.
Like he stands tall, happy. He's like, nah, fuck no, this is
like
right.
He's saying it with a smile, but it's like your sister's a demon. I'm about to kill her. Like, but with a smile, just like, hey weirdo, get out of my face, because like I'm about to murder your sister. I'm Rengoku.
And it looks so dope, dude. It looks I can't put a pin on it. It's like the Chosen One character almost.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Because like Tanjiro's character design, by like just comparing the two, he's kind of average looking. The most iconic piece of Tanjiro's character design is this green like flannel he wears,
and his kind of red hair.
And it's like a burgundy tinted hair. You know what I mean?
Like if anything, Rengoku's hair is more red than
Exactly. So Tanjiro's he's not the hero's hero. He's not Naruto. He's not Ichigo.
He has struggled to get where he's at. Right?
Exactly. Well, yes, because Tanjiro
training.
If it was up to Tanjiro, he would just be with his family, making charcoal up on the mountains forever. Correct. That's it. That's all Tanjiro ever wanted. Being happy. Like this whole Demon Slayer story is just like a revenge story. It's not even a revenge story. He's trying to find the cure for demonism for his sister.
Well, what's that cool thing Aldo said on the last Demon Slayer episode that is like a villain origin story more?
Oh,
story.
Yeah.
So the story undevelops to the villain.
Right. Because like you're right, because in episode 4 or 5 of season 1,
which is awesome, because when you think about, for example, the Joker, we know the entire time is the Joker, and that's a Joker movie.
Right.
But
going into the Batman, we knew it was a Riddler movie, right? But it's like, how do we get there?
Exactly. But when you see something as what do you call it? Original as Demon Slayer, it gave you all the characters to the villain ending.
Right, because like episode 4 or 5, Tanjiro literally is face to face with Muzan, the original demon, the king of all demons, the demon of demons, and like stares at him dead in the face.
Like, how the fuck does he know my name?
Right. Yeah. So then there's no surprises. We know everything that's going to happen, right? We know that we have to defeat Muzan to get the cure for demonism, and to turn Nezuko, Tanjiro's sister, back into a human. That's it. We know that from episode 3, episode 4. And
we're talking about Rengoku.
Anyway, so Rengoku. I feel like I was saying it different last time. Rengoku. Thank you. Rengoku is in this town that's basically desolate because they've been having demon attacks because of the Mugen train, right? The Mugen train is currently being decommissioned by the Tokyo Train Society, whatever the fuck it is, and it's in storage, right? And they're working on it. Like, they just have mechanics working on it, and they have no idea what's going on, why people are going missing. But the guys are working in the middle of the night. It's a bunch of mechanics, and Rengoku takes a train there because he knows something's up. So he goes, and then right away there's this little speed demon, like an anime original character. He's got bald hair, gray skin, black tattoos kind of, and then his power is super speed. And when he has super speed, his after vision is this giant blue fluorescent light, which is kind of cool. and it's just Rengoku trying to fight him there, staving him off, and then the speed demon being like, well, I'm gonna go to the main train station and kill people there because you have to save people and you can't catch me. And this is where we start learning outside of the plot to Mugen Train how cool Rengoku was, because he had mastered total concentration, breathing constant. So his stamina and capacity was like way more than a regular human, to the point that he could run down the tracks at almost the same pace as the speed demon and save this granddaughter and her grandmother that are selling box lunches, because they were nice to him and gave him a free box lunch. So he saves them, and I think the most interesting part for the canon, even though it's non-canon, is it kind of explains what the everyday people think of demons and demon slayers. Because we do learn in season 1 of Demon Slayer that everyday people don't know about demons and don't know about the Demon Slayer Corps. The Demon Slayer Corps is an entirely like a underground espionagist group. They're unknown to the public.
And for a second, it felt similar to what the scouts were in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know,
because like a lot of people in Attack on Titan were like, "What do the scouts even do?"
And the inner walls, there were conversations. I was like, I bet there's not even people fighting out there.
There's no Titans out there.
Yeah,
no one's ever seen the Titan.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the exact plot line that's happening, right? Because the granddaughter's talking shit and be like, "Grandma, stop fucking worrying. There's no demons out here. Demons don't fucking exist." And then they get attacked by a fucking demon at the train station. And then like again, she doesn't think demon slayers exist, and the grandma's like, "Don't worry, don't worry. A demon slayer is gonna come. A demon slayer is gonna come." Grandma, those things don't exist, you crazy old fucking lady. Rengoku busts out, flame style.
This
like,
in the OVA.
Yeah, in the OVA, flame. I think flame style 1 is like it's like Half Moon Crescent or something. It's like a circle of flames, whatever the fuck he calls it. And yeah, just like
it looks badass.
It looks badass.
Yeah.
But this is always a question I have with Demon Slayer. I saw it like once on YouTube or Twitter or something, and then I can't stop thinking about it every time I see Demon Slayer. Like, are the breathing techniques that make water come out of the blade, that make flames come out of the blade, that make electricity come out of the blade? Allegedly, that's what I'm getting to. Is it a metaphor? Yeah. Like, are those things actually happening? Because the flames in Rengoku's blade don't actually behave as flames.
It's like a stand.
Right. Is it like so I understand like they're giving different techniques names and they flow differently. Like the water technique flows.
I mean, well, if you think about it, if you want to get into like the Star Wars and how like they see the theory of the lightsaber, like all the different stands, all the different fighting styles and stuff like that, and even samurai back in feudal Japan, there was different stands to sword fighting and stuff like that. So I think it's just.
So you don't think the flames are actually there? You don't think like?
I don't think they're there. But like as another person that knows another style and to see a different style, would be like, oh shit, this guy's
you're flowing like water,
crazy.
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh, you're moving so fast, like lightning. You're the lightning pillar.
Exactly.
Okay. But then that kind of sucks because like the demons are actual demons. Like that's not a metaphor. Like they're demons.
Yeah, and that's why it is explained like in the beginning in the first season that demon slayers die all the time. It's like a one-sided battle against fucking demons.
That's why like being a Hashira is such a big deal. You just have to like not die from multiple demon encounters.
He's been here for 15 days, so he's a Hashira.
the flame Hashira, the last flame Hashira died the other day.
Yeah.
Honestly, the flame Hashira before Rengoku was Rengoku's dad. And the thing about Rengoku's dad is Rengoku's mom seems to have died. Like she was a sickly woman or something. They made it seem like, and then she died shortly after his brother's birth. Like maybe 4 or 5 years after.
And the dad just started beating them.
Yeah, and the dad just turned into an abusive alcoholic and like dropped out of the Demon Slayer Corps, effectively retiring.
Wasted his money on booze.
And like they had a nice house. You know what I mean? Like the Demon Slayer estate is ginormous because we saw the Butterfly Mansion. We saw like all the amenities and the giant fucking building they get and all that stuff. So he basically is just letting this go to waste. And the son, Rengoku, looks up to him. You know what I mean? He's just like, he's so excited to learn the flame style. And like he taught himself based off of his dad's diaries. Because the dad's too much being an angry fucking drunk to teach his kid like the family trait. which is ridiculous, especially for this point. Like, your dad teaches you how you're going to make money later in life. You know what I mean? Like, my dad's a blacksmith. He taught me how to be a blacksmith. We're making that blacksmith.
Now we're the blacksmiths.
Yeah, now we're the
My
blacksmith.
last name's Blacksmith.
Exactly. So, like, for the Flame Hashira to be like, no, I'm not going to teach my fucking gifted son how to do the flame dance and stuff. No, the fire style and the flame dance are different.
Correct.
So those get confusing sometimes. But and that's why I think Rengoku just has this great spirit about him. Like, when he's just screaming "Umai," and like he buys out like the box lunches from the granddaughter and the grandmother to just give them away, just because he's like, how can I repay you? We'll give you one free lunch, bro. Don't even worry about it. Take all of them. He's like, I won't take all of them. I'll take the one free one. Don't get me wrong. I'll take the one free one. I will take all of them, but I'll pay you for the rest of
This
them.
was just been eating air for the past 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. He's up for like 48 hours straight, like by the end of Mugen Train, because we meet him like 2 nights later.
That's fucking crazy.
He's just up for 48 hours straight, just fighting demons.
And so he's eating this shit in the fucking train. Now that makes more sense.
Right. So they jump on the train. They go to the back cart. And Rengoku's there just screaming, "Umai! Umai!" Like, every bite. Like, just like every chopstick little bit. He's just like, "Umai! Umai!" And he's just got these boxes of fucking, like, box lunches around him. He gave half of them away to the other Demon Slayer members that had helped him fight the night before.
Oh, cool.
So he just had all these extra box lunches. They show up, he's just like, "Who are you?" "Oh, I've seen you before, Tanjiro. I tried to kill your sister because she's a demon."
How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, bro? The boss says she's good, so I'm okay with it. Don't even worry about it. It's just hilarious, like, cause just with a smile on your face, just somebody like whole ass tried to kill your sister a few months back. No, that would have been like a month before, maybe a few weeks, because like they weren't training that long on the breathing.
No, you're right. Yeah. It seemed like a long ass montage, but it
So
seemed like
he
they
just
got it
saw
pretty.
him.
Yeah. And even just like the fact that the creator of the manga, this super cool lady, what's her name?
Her name is I can't find her name.
No, it's okay.
I just had it.
I'll stretch it.
Her name is Koyoharu Gotoge. Koyoharu Gotoge.
Koyoharu Gotoge. Oh, okay, yes, her. I like I don't know, for some reason this call to action, or this call to duty.
Honestly, you're fucking right, because
they gave a transition to the call to duty. It's so weird.
Every arc in Demon Slayer has its own call to action. It has its own hero's journey a little bit. Because, oh my god, that's why this shit's so good. Because, like, you think of Naruto or Ichigo or Bleach or kind of maybe One Piece to a certain extent. It's just like the whole story is one hero's journey, right? Like, the story of Naruto is just like, I'm a loser. I wanna make some friends and become really cool and become the leader of the Leaf Village. It has no own name. I already forgot it. And like the ending of the hero's journey is him resolving to go back to the village and be that leader that he wanted to be, right? The thing about Demon Slayer is it has that every single time we're back in it. So it's like, it's exciting because it's like watching the Harry Potter movies again. It's like every arc, it's just like, oh, it's Tanjiro. Look. Like, obviously it's about fucking Tanjiro, but it's just like, oh my god, it's Tanjiro's here. He's here again. What's the call to action, Tanjiro? Where are your friends? Let's go on this journey, bro.
What's the next mission? It's just not one, like, what's the One Piece?
Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, I love One Piece, but like, it's so exciting to be refreshed, and like, it's like fan service in the writing, because it wants you to be excited. It gets you excited. And it's like we're all on this little communal journey together with Tanjiro.
And my point is that the creator here took a call of action and was able to stretch it only on the right there. And it's like, just to give you a story, to give you a subplot over the plot, it's just nice to see that. I don't know. It felt very like James Bond-y.
Yes. Yeah. Because that's what every James Bond movie is like too. It's just like, oh my god, what's James gonna get into this time?
Yeah, expensive as train, expensive as blimp, expensive as whatever. Yeah.
What's the Maserati gonna look like this movie?
Exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, we're in the train. There've been disappearances inside of the train. there's a smell of blood, a smell of a demon about it, because Tanjiro's thing is he's got an innate sense of smell.
He has a hard head. He has a hard head and a good nose.
Yeah, exactly. And as opposed to Zenitsu, he hears really well, right?
Oh yes.
So he knows when people are demons because like they step different or they'll make different movements and sounds. So you can be like, oh, that's a demon.
Like fucking, what's her name? Melody from.
Oh, from Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Exactly like that. So we're sitting in the train. I watched when I rewatched it the first time. I rewatched it twice this past 2 weeks. So the second time I've watched it total. The first time I watched it 2 weeks ago, I was watching how the anime adapted it, and because Mugen Train came out as a film first, it was about 100 minutes or so. And then they re-released it as the first half of season 2 of Demon Slayer, the anime.
Which is great. A great choice.
Honestly, the movie made $500,000 by itself. Like, they were just trying to top another $100 million on top of it by re-releasing it as 12 episodes.
Because I watched those first episodes of the second season. You know what I'm saying? It was good. It was cool.
Yeah, it's almost the exact same experience. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it feels a little elongated. Like, there's more lulls in tone. There's more lingering frames on the expressions. There's more. It just doesn't, because the movie is just like this beautifully paced fucking film.
Yeah.
Because even Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the film for Jujutsu Kaisen, which is a prequel arc, is super good. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing, but it does not hit as well as Mugen Train because I think the pacing kind of hurts it. The Act 1 in Jujutsu Kaisen 0 feels so long. It feels like 30, 40 minutes into the movie.
And disconnected from the last.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It feels like a big jump. As opposed to the Mugen Train movie. Like, we're meeting Rengoku at 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
We are inside of a demon's dream landscape 15, 20 minutes in. That's only like the first occurrence with demonism, right? That's not even the plot of the movie.
Yeah, and we have some sort of like dialogue talk here when they meet. Tanjiro is talking to Rengoku. Is like, hey, you were saying, oh, I was able to fucking do the fucking fire dance.
Yeah.
That I saw my dad did. Is like, you're the fire hasher. I was like, whoa, how do you do it? And then Rengoku's like, oh, I'll teach you.
He did the flame dance, but you're the fire hashira. Do you know anything about the flame dance?
Correct. And he was like, oh, I'll fucking teach you. You'll be my apprentice and blah blah blah. My family has like the whole like scriptures of like what a fire, but he doesn't remember at the moment. He has to go back home. Whatever.
But like he also says something right there, somewhere in that same sentence, he's like, never heard of the flame dance though. Yeah, I'll teach you everything about the fire style. I'll teach you how to be a flame hashira. Never heard of the flame dance though. Sounds different. Never heard of it.
And again, it puts a lot of like weight on Rengoku's character to be so fucking positive all the time too.
All the time.
Yeah, it is fucking crazy.
Yeah, because immediately from there, we go into like this super sad, because the thing about Demon Slayer is it's a shonen, right? Like, don't get me wrong, it's 1000% a manga that was written by a woman, but marketed towards young boys, right? Like young men. But as opposed to traditional like shonen that we grew up in, not even traditional shonen of the past 10, 15 years, everything's super cool and glitzy and glammy. You know, no characters are actually gonna die.
Like Goku doesn't have a bad like growing up, you know?
Right.
Like a lovable grandpa adopted this monkey boy and like took care of him until he was a good person.
Kung Fu.
Yeah, and he was the greatest person ever to live.
Exactly. Demon Slayer is both a shonen, but it's a horror at the same time.
It is absolutely a horror without wanting to be a horror.
If we forget that, because it is about demons. Demons, you know, it's a demon character trope.
And like I said, I'm gonna bring out my Catholic boy inside. That growing up Catholic is just a demon, just like maybe not a zombie because it's lost its pizzazz in the past years.
Yeah,
but like, you know, like like aliens, robots, demons. Like demons sounds cool, you know.
All my favorite horror movies are usually about Catholics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all the good horror movies are about Catholicism. Because it's like...
Two pups.
Demons are the scariest if you're trying to think about it through the lens of Catholicism. Like, it's an actual evil being that exists because God can't eliminate all of them. Like, that's the God can't kill all evil? That's scary. That's so scary.
I thought he was so powerful. Oh.
Exactly. So, what the reason I'm bringing that up is because...
They eat people and some of them like young girls because they like how they taste. Like, that's devil shit, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. and succubi and stuff like that. But the reason I bring that up is because the guys are sitting in the train. They're going to spend the night on the train, try to find the demon that's, like, haunting the Mugen train. They get their ticket stubs punched by the conductor on the train. And then all of them immediately fall asleep. And we meet the guy. We meet lower rank 1. So there's 12 Kizuki in Demon Slayer. These are like the main minions of Muzan because all demons in this world have at least somewhat of Muzan's blood because he's the original demon. So you either become a demon by Muzan directly inserting his blood into you or getting like himself onto you because he's eating you, a la Nezuko. Or somebody that he already turned into a demon eats you, and then that infects you. It's kind of like the zombie mechanic, or like a vampire mechanic, right? As opposed to how we normally think about demons, because it's more possession-based. That's how like demons are at least written in Western literature.
Correct.
So we met lower rank 1 in season 1, actually. What I think it might actually be the last episode, maybe the last scene after the guys get the call to action by the crows while leaving the butterfly mansion. There's a scene where Muzan teleports all of the lower rank demons after the death of lower rank 5.
It's like that.
It's a moving castle.
Yeah.
It's a moving castle, right? And he's pissed as fuck. He's like, why the fuck are all my lower demons fucking useless? You're also fucking weak. I've given you all my blood directly. There's only like 6 other people in the world that have gotten more of my blood than you. And I don't understand how these no-named, nobody, not even Hashida demon slayers were able to beat one of my lower ranked demons. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and he was pissed about the name too.
Yeah. About
like bringing up his name. He's like, how does he know my name? Like the fact that he knows his name is like, motherfucker, what?
Honestly, you know what that reminds me of? We're talking about Tokyo Revengers next week, and I'm on like episode 13, and that's like a big part of Tokyo Revengers is because it's about gangs and like middle school gangs starting and like taking that into adulthood to the point it's a whole on fucking mafia. Like when they talk about people, when the cops talk about people, it's just like all we know is this dude's name. We don't know where he's at. We don't know what businesses he's directly with. We can't get close to him. He's a pariah. Like he doesn't exist outside of this one fucking like screenshot in the back of somebody's picture on their phone.
Yeah, like the fucking Wilson Fisk in the Daredevil.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly, like the Kingpin. Like, I know who the Kingpin is, but did you know it was Fisk? Have you ever seen him before? Have you ever been in the same room with the guy? Like, he might as well not exist as far as you know. And we know that he's leading the whole organization. So Muzan's pissed, kills 4 of the lower rank moons, right? In an instant, just like murks them. Because one of them pipes up. Like, this dude, I think it's the guy that's lower rank 6. He's fucking scared shitless. He's just like, I'm weaker than lower rank 5. Like, I couldn't defeat them. Like, I'm sorry, Lord Muzan, can I just not do that? And he's just pissed and kills all of them. Lower rank 1 is smart and kisses Muzan's ass because he's addicted to power. And he's just like, you know what? I bet I could do it. I could kill that pesky Tanjiro if you want me to. Just give me more of your blood, bro. I would love more of your blood. I love power. And, like, Mugen Train is really, 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 when we get into, like, why a lot of demons give into Muzan just for the sake of power. Because there's a lot of language from the demons in season 1 that's kind of like, you're less than me, you're a different species, you're a cattle to me because I'm a demon, you're a human. This is where we really get like, you don't understand. Like, I became a demon to push to break the limits of what being a human was. I could have been the best kung fu master in the world at 15 years old, and I became upper rank 3 because I knew I was going to age and die, and I was going to lose this perfect masterhood that I had created for myself.
Yep.
And lower rank 1 is one of these people. Like, his character design's kind of interesting. So the thing about all the the Kizuki is that they all show their ranking on their eyeballs, which is already scary. So his eyes literally say Lower Moon 1.
Yeah.
And on his hand is kind of like the mouth you see on like Jujutsu Kaisen, where it's a whole different mouth that's like excreting like I don't even know, like he's able to make the tickets, the train tickets that were punched out of his own blood, out of the hand that's out of the mouth that's on his hand. And that was able to leave a curse on the guys after they got their tickets punched, that put them to sleep into a nightmare entirely being controlled by Enmu here. And not only that, Enmu has contracted a group of human children to use a magical rope, also laced with his blood, to enter the dreams and like kill their inner spirit from inside the dream while they're distracted inside the dream. And that's how they're going to kill them, because Enmu is terrified of contacting them directly. He's going to kill them in their dreams.
Correct. And that aspect, I guess the whole I'm going to kill you through your dream kind of thing, because it becomes very like, I'm going to go where your soul chamber is.
Right, exactly.
You know? And like
where your heart wants to be, kind of. Yeah. That's kind of what we see.
It reminds me of like, remember in Hercules, in the Disney Hercules, when they pulled the strings,
the strings of fate.
Yeah, and then they just fucking, and then, oh, that was, I don't know, Nixon, or, you know what I'm saying?
They cut it and then they die in the real life.
Correct. And it just feels very, it feels fucking crazy, because now you're in a fucking Freddy Krueger movie.
Right, exactly. It takes you where your heart wants to be. So, for example, Tanjiro is instantly transported back to when his family's still alive.
I like Rengoku's and Zenitsu's fucking dreams.
Rengoku's is he's with his... Rengoku's is that the other guys, meaning Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke, are like praising him. Yeah, big bro! You're so cool, big bro!
Yeah, but like, what is Zenitsu's his dream? He's with Nezuko and also the other guys. The board guy, what's his name? Inosuke. They're both with Nezuko on their dreams, and I like that the dream also like that. Inosuke's, is that the board guy?
Yeah.
Inosuke's dream, he goes into a cave with Nezuko and fights a spider formed of the train, because he still thinks in his nightmare that
the train's a monster.
I don't know. I thought it was really fun.
But then he thinks of himself as like the hero of the story, right? So he's just like, come on, Tanjiro and Zenitsu, and they're like raccoons and shit or whatever the fuck they were.
Yes, master. Yes.
Yeah, but Zenitsu's was just kind of like, it's just him fighting everyone to protect Nezuko, because he's publicly in love with Nezuko. But I think Tanjiro's is the one that hurts, though, because it's really
absolutely
the place where his heart is. What would make him happy, like his ideal dream, is just his family's alive. It's just before
learning all died. This cool shit.
Yeah, before learning about demons, before all that, just his family's alive.
His little siblings are alive.
His little siblings are alive. Nezuko's a normal person.
Helping out.
His mom's alive. His dad's still alive, and they're just all chilling.
Wild.
And it's so sad, because like it's a dream, right? So like he almost thinks that reality was the dream, and he's just like, okay, well, maybe the past 3-4 years, because he spent like 2 years training on the mountain, 2-3 years, something like that. Maybe all that was the dream, and this is reality. And you see him almost give himself to the dream and like try to live that life that he wanted to. And I think there's a really cool metaphor when it comes to all of their souls, because we see the girl breaking into his dream, and she uses like some special knife or something to break into the outer layer of his dream to get into his spirit.
Right, because I don't know if we mentioned, there's also like some other passengers around, and some of those young kids are the people inside the dreams trying to get there.
Right. So when the girl in Tanjiro's dream gets into his spirit realm, it's beautiful. You know what? It's this serene white and blue.
When it gets to Rengoku's, it's a fire.
It's a flame. It hurts. It's so intense.
Yeah.
But Tanjiro's, there's these little like versions of himself, of little Tanjiro's, little spirits that are going to guide him
Sprites.
little sprites, thank you, that take him to like the orb that's like the entire manifestation of your spirit, and like she almost breaks down. She's like, it's so beautiful, it's gorgeous, like I can't,
tranquil.
yeah, it's so tranquil and peaceful, and like I can't harm this. Like that's so.
It kind of reminds me of something recent that we watched, the Moon Knight episode where he finally reaches the field of reeds. And he is in his heaven, and it's just so quiet and so beautiful. And
He gives it up.
Yeah, it's fucking like that. But right here, it's because it gets so dark, so crazy soon right here. Because I think at this same point, everybody kind of knows that they're like in a nightmare.
Yeah.
And they're trying to wake up.
Well, the way Tanjiro finds out is in the dream, he's talking to his dream mother, and she's like, hey, you seem to be freaking out, because he's clearly like, dog, you guys are dead, this is a dream. She's like, can you just go get some water from the river, from the lake, whatever the fuck it was? And then he sees his reflection on the surface water, and he's talking to himself. He's like, wake up, bro. Like, they're dead, remember? That, like, this isn't real. This is the dream. And then, like, him in the dream, he's just touching himself. He's feeling himself. He's like, what the fuck? Is this right? And what snaps him out of it is, like, he goes back to the shed, and he sees Nezuko in the dream for the first time. She doesn't have the muzzle on. Like, she's healthy and has one of the younger siblings on. And she looks perfectly normal, and she's beautiful. And she's just like, hey, bro, I love you. What's going on? Like, why are you freaking out? Why's everyone tripping? And that's what makes him snap. He's just like, I'm doing all of this for you, and this isn't you right now. This is the reality I want, that you're safe and perfectly healthy with my younger siblings, but this isn't it. And
shit's too good.
Shit's too good. So, like, him realizing that in the dream, he's still trapped in the dream. He doesn't escape. But he gets his actual clothes on, and he has his katana. And, like, he finds the outer layer of the dream, and he's trying to bang on it, and he can't get through it because he doesn't have the specialized blade that Enmu, lower rank 1, had given to the kids that were breaking into the dream. So he realizes that, like, if I die in the dream, I'll wake up. Which is a hell of an assumption. You know, like every other thing we've ever talked about with dreams in anime, if you die in the dream, you're dead for real. That was a big part of Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah. But the fact that he just kills himself. I believe he has a kunai, and he's like,
not even the kunai, like the actual katana, the black katana. He's holding it against his fucking neck. He's just like, I swear to God, please fucking work. I'm doing this for my family. And like, you see him hesitate. Like he juts it in a little bit, and he's like, he draws blood on his neck. Like it's just barely piercing the skin. He's just like, fuck, I can't do it. And he's just like, fuck it, I'm doing it, and just like slice. And then we get an entire scene cut. So like, watching in the theater for the first time, I'm just like, well, I read the manga beforehand, before the movie came out, so I knew it. But like, I wanted to like believe the hype, and I wanted to, you know, have the movie experience and like forget that I knew it was gonna happen. And like, I just look at Karen, I'm just like, holy shit, is he dead? Like, did he just kill himself?
It's fucking crazy because not only does he not wake up, I think he does. Doesn't he kill himself various times because he keeps going back to sleep? Well,
because Enmu keeps using his power to. Every time you look at Enmu in the eye, you fall back to sleep. So
that's later.
That is later. Okay. So right now he does wake up, and he's the only one on the train. Oh. He's rope tied to the girl that broke into his dream.
That's right.
And then like he tries. Oh, you know what else happened that helped him wake up? Nezuko was asleep inside of the box that he wears on his back. And she's scratching him. She's using her blood demon art to use like the fire scratches to like light her blood on his skin on fire. That helps him wake up and realizes that this is part of the dream. So then he wakes up and is like, oh, thank you, Nezuko, whatever. They start waking all the other guys up. Rengoku's pissed. Like in the movie, this is like outside of the OVA, outside of the anime. The first time you see this in the movie, and he starts like, he's pissed, like you're scared for the children because all they wanted was to be put to sleep. Enmu, the way Enmu was able to trick them, not even trick them, like entice them into working for him, is that they're all about to die. They all have like some type of cancer. They all have
terminal shit.
Yeah.
Japan.
Exactly. It's all tuberculosis or cancer, or they were born crippled, or dying from fucking syphilis. Who knows? and just like they don't have any medicine. All they want is to be put to sleep. Like, all they want is Enmu's power of the dream to just help them go to sleep. Because they don't sleep well, because they're fucking sick and dying.
And they're in pain all the time. So
and
they just want to go memes.
Exactly. Exactly.
And with this same sentiment, they carried out the mission of going into their dreams and trying to kill them from the fucking inside.
Yeah.
When they reached to fuck, what's his name? Tanjiro's dream, they felt so overwhelmed they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
And dude, not only that, it's just fucking terrible just to see what we've seen in Demon Slayer throughout, but it just feels so new here because you know how every demon death.
We have to have their whole backstory.
Correct, but this wasn't like it was a demon's death, like metaphorically, but like just to see a person who has made the wrong decision.
So when Rengoku wakes up, like, I'm scared. I'm like, he's about to kill these kids. But
Like this one girl pinned up.
Yeah, he was totally about to choke somebody out. But then he smells other demons in a different car, because not only that, Enmu had contracted lower demons onto the train to like attack people. Mm-hmm. And when we start seeing Rengoku attack, like, he's scary. Like, when he's just like Flame Sword Style 3, just like continuous fire. It's just like, it reminds me of it's called like Continuous Dance or something in the water style. But because it's all fire, it's so crazy. Like, the visual effects in Demon Slayer, like, they don't go cheap when it comes to the fights and the sword styles, like, in all. And that's like the coolest thing about watching Demon Slayer, is that it's like what you wish every shonen anime looked like always. Always. Like, you almost feel bad for every other anime studio, because after, like, Demon Slayer and UFO Table's adaptation of Mugen Train, and a lot of Season 1, like, the Season 1 fight with Low Rank 5, where Nezuko, like, lights the blood on fire, and the kind of Sakuga, freestyle, bright-colored animation that we see there, it has set, like, the standard for what animation should look like.
It looks absolutely fucking crazy. The only thing I have is the sludge, the slug,
the tentacles.
Yeah,
the CGI tentacles.
Yeah, the CGI tentacles were not.
They look really bad.
They were not that great, but
it's like 2004 graphics.
Yeah,
like,
what are you gonna do?
It's like PS2.
And you wanna forget about it, but it is a big chunk of the movie for now.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen it yet. So like, Rengoku blasts these lower demons, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, Zenitsu still doesn't want to wake up, but like, he's so strong in the dream that the kid trying to like kill him can't, because Zenitsu's so manic, both in the real world and in his dreamscape. In Inosuke, a lot of the same thing. Like, he doesn't even take it seriously. Like, haha, what are you doing in my dream, random child?
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. So, they do get Inosuke awake. So basically, Rengoku's like, okay, I'm gonna protect these like 6 train cars here in the back.
You guys take care of this one.
You take care of, we're gonna assign like Nezuko and Zenitsu to like the front one, and then Inosuke and Tanjiro are gonna go attack or try to find the neck, the head of the demon,
which is at the front of the train,
which is the locomotive portion.
On the nose.
Yeah, right. So and they find it through Tanjiro's sense of smell, because like they bust into the locomotive. They're like, "Where's the head? Where's the neck? Where's the neck?" And Tanjiro's just like, "It smells like demon right here, Inosuke." And then they blast the panels open, and it's just a fucking giant demon neck.
Yeah, I think there was a little spot before they make their way to the front of the train that the Tanjiro can smell, but like because of Zenitsu, what's his name, the board guy, Inosuke's fucking like.
He has beast sense or whatever the fuck.
Beast sense. He was like, "It's at the front," and then they started getting closer, and then
because that's how he talks to Tanjiro.
And then when they get close, Tanjiro is able to be like, "Oh shit, yeah, you're right. It is this way. Like, I can smell it now."
He has a whole different name for that technique too. We see it in season 1.
It's a beast mode or beast.
He called it beast sense or something like that, because
it just goes fucking
in the beginning. In the beginning of the fight with the Spider Family, when they're gonna fight lower rank 5, he just calls it like beast breathing, demon sense, and he just has like this whole sense of the whole like 100 meters around him or so and so. He's like, "That way, there's a big one." It like. The fight right there is really ugly, because that's the scene you're talking about, where it's like Enmu has basically become the train. Like, Tanjiro finds who he thinks is Enmu on top of the train, tries fighting him. Enmu keeps like using an eye that's on the palm of his hand to put him to sleep, and every time he gets put to sleep in the dream, he has to cut his head off again. And then he
does
cuts
that like 20 times.
Like 20 times. So he beheads who he thinks is Enmu, but it was just like a piece of matter of the train that Enmu, because he's now the train, had used as a decoy. So now Enmu, as like the locomotive of the train, has these big, ugly, like slimy CGI tentacles come out, and he's trying to attack them. But because Inosuke's wearing a mask,
he can't see.
Enmu can't see his line of vision, so he can't put the trance to go to sleep in front of Inosuke's face. So Inosuke's just battling and like blasting, but like Tanjiro keeps falling for it and keeps falling asleep and keeps having to kill himself and kill himself and kill himself.
Which says a lot about Inosuke's fucking skills too, because if Enmu can't see his line of sight, then that means Inosuke can't see really that well outside of that mask.
Yeah, exactly. And Inosuke saves him a couple times. The scary part right there is that Tanjiro almost gets tricked that like he's in the dream and like holds the blade to his neck. He's like, all right, I'm back in the dream. I'm about to do it. And Inosuke has to stop him and be like, no. You're awake. Like, don't do it. He's trying to trick you. Please don't kill yourself right now. And it's scary. It's super scary.
Yeah, imagine. And it almost feels like, what's the one with Ram and Ram?
ReZero.
ReZero, you know, when he dies all those times?
Yes,
it's like that.
It's like that. And the thing about Tanjiro's water breathing technique is that because Enmu has so much blood right now and so much regeneration technique and is able to use the matter from being such a large demon and the train to like protect his
people
neck.
in the train.
Yeah, to protect his neck. You know what I mean? That the water style of Tanjiro can't get to the neck. He can't behead him, and neither can Inosuke. And that's when Tanjiro uses the flame dance again, like he did when fighting lower rank 5, that's able to burn away the stuff and like get him to the neck and like cut it open. And I think you see it here. I think you see it in part 1 too, where like the first time he does the flame dance, the birthmark on his face like stretches and gets bigger. It's a curse mark.
Well, it's absolutely crazy.
It's a curse mark. It's crazy. They don't even name it yet, but this is like the second time we've seen it. And like we see it a third time in the Entertainment District arc, and I don't think they name it there. It's not until like the arc immediately after that they start teaching us what the curse mark of Demon Slayers is.
I thought it was a Sharkle accident.
That's what they said. That's what they said. But it's spoilers. I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it.
No, it's all right. We'll talk about it on the next episode of Demon Slayer here between us.
So it's a metaphor for Demon Slayers that basically shows like their strength, right? Like if I'm pumping out extra strength, then like my curse mark's gonna get bigger, and then you start gaining strength through the curse mark, and like that's when you know he's at his powered up state, right? And he uses everything he has to cut the demon's neck, that flips the train, and there's all these passengers still in here. It's still a regular fucking train, even though all this bullshit's going on. And like, it takes Zenitsu and Inosuke and, like, especially Rengoku to, like, grab the trains and, like, put them in place, grab everybody inside of the train cars and, like, place them outside so quickly that, like, while it's in motion and while it's falling, he can carefully place them on the ground. It's like All Might in season 1 of My Hero Academia, right?
And Zenitsu's abilities, I mean, they made him the right amount of annoying, I guess, for the movie.
And broken as
fuck. But I really like his abilities.
Right, because we see this in season 1. No, we see this in I think we see it in a flashback in this one too, in Mugen Train, where Zenitsu was trained by the previous Lightning Hashira. He calls him Grandpa. He basically adopted him because he was the son of a prostitute that he found in the streets, took pity on him, adopted him, and taught him the lightning breathing style technique. And he was his teacher's favorite pupil. And we saw that there was animosity amongst the lightning style breathing students, that there were people that didn't like him and generally talk shit about him, like, why does old man spend so much time on you? Who the fuck do you think you are? And it's because he only knew one technique. Even near the end, like, he only knows one technique, which is just lightning clap, thunder breathing style lightning clap, which is just, he just moves really quickly and slices something really, really quickly. That's it.
No aim, no anything. Just fuck you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, near the end, he gets aim, which
Yeah.
is like still technically the same technique. They call it, but whatever. And you hear the old man telling him, it's just like, don't let everyone get to you, bro. Everyone's mad because you're so much better at lightning clap than they are. Like, all you know is one technique. Just learn the shit out of that one fucking technique, bro. Like, you are so much better than all these other fucking nerds, and they claim to know all the other techniques. You know one, and you're better than them. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you. Okay. So when you see Zenitsu, like, channeling that in his dreams, because a lot of times, like, this arc and the next arc, whenever Zenitsu has his broken moments, he's asleep. Which is kind of annoying, because it's like, he always wakes up, he's like, what's going on? Why are my legs broken? What?
But then again, he has, like a
certain level of consciousness, too.
Yeah, he has, like,
he's speaking and stuff.
Yes, and then what I was gonna say, he has like this personality disorder almost.
Yeah, in his dream, he's super cool and suave. He's just like,
because his drink, he's like, "Don't worry, I got you. I just did."
Well, while awake, he's like, "I'm not going near that demon. That's so scary. That's a demon."
Yeah, which is fucking annoying. But it didn't happen that much here because
near the end, he gets over that because he always had that potential in him.
Well, at the end, it's just a fucking water fest.
Well, I'm talking the end of the story as a whole.
Oh,
I'm not just talking Mugen Train.
Okay.
Like he that's part of his growth arc as like a hero. It's just like I realize it was always me. Like I have no reason to pretend to be afraid. And so so they save everybody on the train. We if you didn't know any better as an audience member, you're like 50 minutes, an hour in, and you're just like, we already defeated the big bad. What's going on? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, this kid with kind of like a grayish skin tone, but then he's got like long like bar tattoos, like a chakra circuit all over him.
I think by this point I had already cried twice. Yeah.
Because like just the speech at the end where Rengoku is just like, don't worry about it, I got this, and saves everybody. And then like right when the first time Tanjiro like is in the dream and takes solace with himself and is kind of just like, I love you all so much. I wish I could stay here forever.
But I can't. You guys are fake. I'm out.
Oh my God. Shoot. it's like watching Avengers Endgame. Like I must have cried like 4 times for that movie. It's like that. Like the first time Black Widow dies, or when Black Widow dies,
or like some of those really crazy Rick and Morty moments too. Yeah, dude. It just feels nuts. It feels fucking nuts because my girl had watched the first 2 episodes of the season and then she watched the movie with me.
Oh, didn't you say?
Yeah.
Oh, Mugen Train.
And then she watched Mugen Train with me. She was, from those 2 episodes, she was able to know enough from the backstory of Tanjiro that she continued watching and she got up to Demon Slayer. Yeah. It's so good, bro. So good. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about crying, but go ahead and cry, bro. It's healthy for you.
Yeah,
it's crazy to.
But see, that's why some people get annoyed because, like, it's even like a meme. I've seen it on TikTok before. It's just like when Tanjiro's about to defeat the big demon of the season, and then you have to spend like 2 episodes just learning their backstory because you have to feel bad for them.
See, but I feel like here in the movie, at least one of the times that I did get teary-eyed was when Tanjiro was hugging his fake family and go back. You know? It's crazy. You know what episode that reminds me of?
What?
Futurama.
Which episode?
Nibbler, because Fry helped him, was able to put him in one of his mother's dream, not one of his own dream. One of his long dead mother's dream.
Nibbler's the little black cat thing
with the antenna eye.
Right, and he's actually like a prince or a king of some alien civilization.
Correct.
Okay.
And he was like, Fry's just like, this is just a dream. It's like, no, this is your mom's dream from when she was alive. And dude, it gets fucking crazy because the mom's like, I dream about you every day when you disappear. Crazy.
It's weird how much moms love you. Anyways, so we're right about there, and then like. There's like a tonal shift because like we get like a couple minutes of like reprieve where it's an uplifting spirit, everyone's excited and happy, everyone like Tanjiro's fucked up after getting beaten up and having to kill himself a million times. Inosuke's fucked up after getting blasted by the tentacles and being thrown by the train. Zenitsu essentially has almost both of his legs broken, he's all fucked up and asleep. Nezuko has been fighting other demons, so she's all fucked up and has to go to sleep. And Rengoku is basically at 100%. Like, you know what I mean? Like, little demons like that. He didn't defeat the big demon, so he's all right. and then we just it's like a change in aura almost. It's like the spirit pressure for Bleach or something. Like all of a sudden, like Rengoku just starts freaking out and turns over his shoulder. He's like, Tanjiro, get the fuck back, bro. Get the fuck back right now. Like,
I want you to run to the nearest town or some shit like that. Like, take everybody.
Just get the fuck away. Yeah, make sure everyone's back and just get the fuck away from me right now. And he's like, what do you mean, Rengoku? I love you, big bro.
And then he's like, oh fuck, that was not the only demon.
Right. And so we do meet upper rank 3. And like what I was trying to describe, his character's like he's got kind of like a bluish grayish like tint with like red pinkish hair.
He looks more dead than all other demons.
Right, but then he's got like chakra circuits over him kind of. He's got like the barred arrows that Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender has on him.
Akaza.
Akaza's scary as shit because Akaza literally volunteered to become a demon because we don't even learn his backstory yet. I can't bring it up. But like the language he's using to Rengoku is that, hey, like this fight is amazing. Like they're both going all out to the point that like Tanjiro's watching and his eyeballs can't even keep up. He's like, I literally have no idea what's happening. And Inosuke's being like, I'm gonna go in there. I can still walk. And he's just like, he's just like frozen. He's just like
legs are broken.
Yeah, he's just like, no, Inosuke,
no.
not Zenitsu. Inosuke's just there, like, trying to act tough, and he's just like, I can't walk in there. There's no opening. They're both moving so fucking fast. And the language that Akaza's using is just like, this is so fun, isn't it? You're a kung fu master like me. Like, you're so good at your style and your form and your technique. But don't you want to do this forever?
But still, as that is like, he's also talking shit. He's like, you're so fast for a trash ass human.
Yeah. You
fucking animal, blah blah, whatever. It's like, why would you want to stay like this with all the power that you have?
Let me turn you into a demon.
It's very weird.
Honestly, it's all foreshadowing. Yeah. Like this whole fight is foreshadowing for every other upper rank moon demon we meet
ever.
Like it's because all the lower rank moon demons wanted to be stronger and just wanted to like, they were all like bullied and losers as humans, and they all wanted to like be cool and be powerful and like belong. All of the upper rank moon demons were already strong for their time. We're already the best. We're already considered a god or a child prophet. We're already kung fu masters. We're already had killed their masters because they became so powerful that they became demons because there was no other option. Like I'm the perfect being as a human. I can't get old and let all this talent go to waste. I'm just gonna become a demon to just do this forever. It's so selfish and nearsighted and it's so ugly. It's this selfishness that I can't even think of. Like it's like there's this whole other world. Like there should be another word for the type of like self-absorbed grandeur that the upper rank moon demons have about themselves that I can't even describe.
And fuck, dude. And that's how people just are sometimes.
Yeah, but imagine you had the option to become a fucking superhuman, like a demon. So that's how he talks. That's exactly how Akaza talks. Just imagine that, but for 30 minutes, and the fight looks amazing when he's animated.
He's a lowercase Dio.
Yes, yes, exactly. But they're all the upper ring moon demons are essentially Dio. Dio is
lowercase Dios.
Is I guess what I'm trying to say, because like when they animate the fight, like it's just flashes of just like sparks. Is how they animate it for a while, and then you see Rengoku doing like all his demon techniques, but he's getting hurt. You know what I mean? He's getting scratches on his faces. It's putting blood into his eye.
Tired.
He's getting like pierced through like the side of his abdomen. But even if he cuts off Akaza's arm, he has so much of Muzan's blood that it just regenerates instantly. You can't beat that. So you have to go for the neck. You have to go for the neck, and you have to take it in one fucking go. Because like if he's able to heal even for like a half a second, like you're done, you're dead.
That's why Nezuko sleeps a lot.
Right, that is why Nezuko sleeps a lot. And like that's how you know the upper ring moon demons have consumed so many people and so much blood.
Yeah.
Because Nezuko, because she can't regenerate from eating people, she just goes to sleep.
Correct. Even though she's one of the top ranks.
Kind of. Yeah, she would be. Yeah, she would be. Like if Nezuko had like if Tanjiro hadn't found her then, and she just like naturally became a demon, started harvesting other people and like really grew up and Muzan found her afterwards, she would have probably been an upper rank moon demon. Especially because she came up with her own blood demon art. Akaza's blood demon art isn't even like a cool blood demon art that we've been seeing. It's just his kung fu gets better. Like, and it's scary. It's like 12th seal technique. It's like watching Rock Lee from Naruto. Like just like it's not ninjutsu, it's taijutsu, but in a certain technique around him, he just has this all-encompassing like circle where he's just so fast and smooth, and his kung fu is perfect that you can't beat him. And Rengoku, he's fighting with a katana. He has to be right there. He has to be right in front of him. There's no long distance fighting with a fucking katana. What are you talking about?
Does you throw it once?
Exactly. Unless you're Polnareff and you have an injecting rapier.
There you go.
And it's so bad because you feel so bad for him. And it's a shonen, right? So like you're so used to the characters always living and like nothing bad ever happens to them. And like the past hour and 10-15 minutes we've been with Rengoku, you love him. Even there, you're just like, this dude's amazing. He's just like the best person.
And I would like to talk about the first look you have of this thing when it was being created. Maybe maybe you read it before, maybe you just watched it, but like the first time you are going through this story, you're like, where is this going? I love Rengoku.
You get like a sinking feeling because,
and yeah, absolutely, because you're watching this and you're like, this cannot be it. This cannot be happening.
The language is so precise that it's like, dude, Rengoku's gonna die.
Yeah.
Because I was reading it, but you're right. Like it was I'm glad how good the adaptation was because you feel that. Because even in the manga, it's just like, this isn't right. Like the Rengoku isn't progressing anymore, and he's getting progressively more hurt.
And it's minute 60, 70 here.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you're first time watching this, or this is the first time you encounter this story, whether you read it or you see it, it's just weird because what I thought I was watching is not what I thought I was watching. Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
It like hurts your feelings almost.
Yeah.
It's like, don't fucking kill him, though. Because like it's so obvious he's gonna die. It's so obvious, but like audience expectation is something because like you're just like, dude, like he can't die. He can't die.
I thought he was gonna be the guy.
This wasn't the guy. He's big bro Rengoku. What do you mean? He can't die.
Fucking Shanks was alive for like at least 300 episodes.
He's still alive.
Oh, he's still alive?
He's still alive.
He's still alive. No, I mean not Shanks.
Ace. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was getting confused.
But yeah, Rengoku. It's just what Akaza says. It's just like, dude, like I wish you would just accepted my blood so that we could have had this fight forever, and you would have become a demon. And Rengoku is just like, no. Like, we start getting his background. Like, normally we get the background on the demon that's about to die, but that's how you know Rengoku's about to die, because, like, how the story's written, we start getting Rengoku's backstory.
It's like, why are we getting his background?
Yeah, why are we getting his backstory? Why are we learning about how resolved he was after his dad became a drunk, and how his little brother looks up to him and, like, hopes to become the Fire Hashira just like him because Rengoku looked up to his dad and wanted to become the Fire Hashira. What do you mean? Why is this relevant right now?
Yeah, like all the other demon deaths are like, oh, that one time I was a demon on opium and this demon guy saved me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we don't get that with Akaza. Yeah, no. So we're just like, holy shit, Akaza's not gonna die. So it's not only that. We get hope for like a second, which is even meaner because like
this dude already has an arm through him.
Yeah. Like he's punctured like through the chest
by an arm,
like right at the bottom of the heart, probably top of the gut. Like it's weird that he's alive. We get his backstory, and then he comes out of. He's like, "Fuck this backstory! Like I'm about to kill you, bro!" Like
that's exactly what happened, dude. Fuck this backstory. Like
why is my life flashing before my eyes? Fuck this! I have to kill you.
The flashback cuts. She's like, "Fuck no!" Fucking cool ass animation.
Ultimate fire breathing mega technique, and just like go straight for the neck.
He just fucking slide up, didn't he, or some shit like that?
Yeah, straight up, and then tries going back for the neck, and then like Akaza like really thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, bro, because he has a sword like right here.
He's just like right hey, here. You're good. That's halfway through my neck, dog. That's halfway through my neck.
Like a Pez dispenser.
Stop it! And then like it's right then that like he kind of like because the trick is that like he punctured Rengoku's chest with his arm, right? And like Rengoku had used the total concentration breathing to tighten his body to the point that like Akaza couldn't like get his arm out. So that's why he was stuck, and that's how Rengoku was able to like get through his neck. He's just like, hey, I can't get out. I can't get out, to the point that he cuts off his own arm and just kind of like gets back. And like Rengoku's blade is still in his neck when he jumps back, and he's just like, gets it out and throws it.
And for a second, we think everything's gonna be alright.
Well, it's because, for like a second before he jumps back and like you think he's still stuck, he's just like, holy shit, Rengoku did it. Rengoku fucking did it. He beat the curse of the light flashing before his eyes. And then like it's right then that the sun starts coming up. And Akaza starts realizing that he's on a time limit all of a sudden. He's just like, dude, that sun cannot rise and I cannot get hit with it. So that's when he cuts off his arm, runs into the forest, throws the blade out of his neck, and just starts running. And Tanjiro's pissed. Oh, yeah. Like, both his legs are essentially broken. And he just runs to the forest, starts screaming. He's just like, y'all are a bunch of fucking pussies. All you demons are a fucking bunch of pussies. You don't come out in the daylight, fight us on our own fucking turf. We're always fighting you where you're at. We're always going out in the middle of the night and fighting every single one of you. And Tanjiro's just like, fuck it. And just throws his blade. Just in the forest, can't see where Akaza is, and Akaza's just running like, wow, that kid's fucking crazy. That's so weird. And he's just running, and like the blade like pierces through his chest. He's like, what the fuck? How did he hit me?
It's wild, and because he's like in the darkness or like the shade of the forest, he can still run away. He can still kill. He can still go. And it reminds me of like the scene in The Dark Knight when the Joker's like, I know why you guys meet in the daylight. I know why you guys meet in fucking freezers at a fucking kitchen.
He's meeting up with all the different mob heads.
Yes, it's because you're scared of the motherfuckers.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So Tanjiro is the Dark Knight.
Yeah. and
Tanjiro is the Dark Knight is the moral of his story.
And you have like this fucking fucking I hate you. You fucking.
Because Tanjiro's like really level-headed and quiet and calm. Like, so for him to just be losing his mind after watching Rengoku die, being like, I knew him for like 4 hours, you motherfucker. Like. And
then you hear Tanjiro. It's alright.
Yeah, it's alright, bro. Like, I'll be okay.
No, not even. He's like, I'm gonna die. It's like,
but he tried calling him down. He's like, dog, you saved all the people. It'll be alright. I'm gonna die, but whatever.
It's like, we need you to get to the district as soon as possible.
But honestly,
make sure everybody's fine.
The curse mark is like evidence why Rengoku is one of the weakest Hashira, because he never developed one. This was his peak fight.
His dad has one?
Probably. His dad wasn't dead. And his dad probably fought some pillars at one point. Because, like, from here on out, what we start to learn is, like, the importance of the curse mark. What it means is, like, you are, like, really embodying the breathing technique. And it puts a time... It's like a Gear Second in One Piece. Like, when Gear Second in One Piece was first introduced, it was Luffy using the elasticity of his own circulatory system to like expand his heart rate in his heart and like pump more blood through his veins so he can move faster and harder. But he said it when it was first introduced, the more I use this technique, the more it shortens my lifespan.
And it was never brought
it was never brought up again. But the curse mark stays like that. The curse mark, basically, after you unlock the curse mark, you have a set amount of years that you're going to live after, because you are maxing out on your output as a human being.
So that's why he gets the black blade.
I don't know if that's why Tanjiro got the black blade, but like that shows that Rengoku, for sure, because he never had a curse mark, was probably not as strong as most of the other Hashira.
Because I mean, that's what they said that the black blades never last long.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I don't know. But fuck, we get a last Rengoku's resolve happening, or he's making peace with what's going on with his mom's death, with his dad's abuse, with his little brother have to live alone.
That was his main thing. He was like, fuck my drunk dad, I'm sad for my brother, because now he has to deal with that abusive asshole. Yeah. And that was his main thing. Like, I'm so sad that I'm leaving my brother just to pick up the pieces. Because I can't even remember it's the end, or if it's the end of the movie or the start of the next arc. Tanjiro goes to the...
That's the start of the next arc.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll spoil it a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. That's
Tanjiro goes to the house of the previous Fire Pillar, who's
with the Rengoku family.
Yeah, the Rengoku. Yeah, right. Their whole last name's Rengoku. It's the Japanese naming system.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to Senior Rengoku's house. And he's just like, "Yo, little Rengoku died. Middle Rengoku died. Excuse me."
He's like, I'm surprised it took this long.
Yeah, just like all shows up to the front porch all drunk, bottle in hand. What do you want, you weird ass kid? I just wanted to let you know your oldest son died. Weirdo. Why did he fucking die? Fucking loser.
Yeah, he wasn't good enough. I told him he wasn't good enough.
I think the language he literally says is he wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
And Tanjiro freaks the fuck out. He's just like, he was the strongest person I've ever met in my life. Shut your disrespectful ass the fuck up. That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah,
like, he was about to stake him. Yeah. He does headbutt him. Yeah. Oh, he does headbutt him.
But I guess that's enough spoilers for that. Do you have anything else to say about Mugen Train?
No, I didn't. Let us know on social media. Email us betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com if you want us to immediately go into sometime soon talking about the Entertainment District arc.
Because that's just like 10 episodes.
Yeah. We'd love to talk about it. Don't get me wrong. Like the Sound Pillar is literally my favorite character in all of Demon Slayer. I've read all of it. And I'd love to talk about it more. CJ was at work while we were recording this, so maybe we could have him back for that, whatever. Do you want to go into the Nerd Down?
Nerd Down.
Nerd Down.
Nerd Down.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the Nerd Down, where the nerds get down. At the beginning of this Nerd Down, we do want to go over our housekeeping notes again. Follow us on all social media. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, @BetweenNerds. Email us questions, comments, or concerns at betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com. Enter our June giveaway by leaving a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts and then emailing us at betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com, letting us know that it was you that left said written review, or leave a comment on a YouTube video during the month of June and be a subscriber, and we can get you some handpicked nerd shit.
Absolutely. And again, please join us every week on your favorite animes. We'll watch them here for you. If you suggest your favorite anime, we are going to watch it, and we are going to try not to talk shit about it, because we like anime.
Honestly, every time we try to talk shit about something, or we come up like even a little bit like subpar about it, a little bit off, we get put in our place like real quick. Like, our audience knows anime, you know what I mean? Especially, like, don't get me wrong, like I'm very aware of how big our influence is. So the people that are really, really digging for shit are the people that find our podcast and they really know their shit. Which is why we try to come so correct so much of the time, but we have long episodes sometimes. It's really hard to keep information straight.
Yeah, and you can go to YouTube and you can look up, give me Demon Slayer in 5 minutes. You're gonna find Demon Slayer in 5 minutes.
Right, that's not what we've been doing.
Yeah. And because we don't want to talk about and that's what it is. Fuck that. There's more substance to a lot of anime, like Tokyo Godfathers, like Jesus fucking Christ, Violet Evergarden, Jesus fucking Christ. You know what I'm saying? So here at the Nerd Down, when the nerds get down, we are gonna talk about Kenobis.
We're gonna talk about Kenobi. I love where Kenobi's at right now. We're recording right now after episode 5, before episode 6 is out. We just watched Third Sister die. That stupid fuck for trying to stand up to Vader.
Absolutely. The way Lucasfilms is going about all these projects is insane. You can say what you want, if you like it or not, if you think it's dorky or not. Star Wars has always been dorky. Star Wars has always been a satire of a satire of a satire of...
I like the tweet that kind of went like semi-viral this week. It'd be like, stop making Star Wars political. Like, the name Wars is in the title. I don't know if you knew this, but all wars are political.
Yeah, there's no peace wars.
Exactly. So, and that's really... I think I like this episode a lot. Like, a lot for what it means for the canon. Because, like... For so long, we haven't seen enough of Darth Vader. You know what I mean? Right now, we've gotten 2 Darth Vader fights as Darth Vader, like outside of Anakin. And the explanation for why Darth Vader fights so fucking rigid and stiff, canon-wise, was because he's like half fucking cyborg right now, right? As opposed to the real world implications, because like they were fighting with fluorescent bulbs essentially, so they had to be really soft with it when like recording on set. Exactly. That's why it looked so weird and awkward because like they were trying not to break their props because it's fucking 1979 and they didn't have any CGI at the time.
But if you were a man who got mutilated, how? My tongue.
Mutilated.
There you go. Mutilated. Next to a fucking volcano where you fucking
and then you were
got crisp.
Your nubs were burnt too.
Yeah, and you get put into this half android body, you're gonna be a little stiff.
Yeah, exactly. Which like that's the kind of explanation, but now we see what that means in action because we already saw Darth Vader fight a Kenobi who's outside of his training in the Force for a decade already, right? Mm-hmm. So like Darth Vader's pissed because it's just like you're my master, like because when Anakin was at full power and had all his fucking limbs outside of his hand, I guess, like he was really agile. Like he was doing like flips and shit, and he was like super over the shoulder swinging the lightsaber with it. And Kenobi style has always been very like stiff in the middle and like just fucking parrying you and stuff like that. So that's how Darth Vader fights now. But he's so strong with the Force, he can like lift his hands and his lightsaber with it that he's so strong it's hard to parry it now. But it's not only that, like him coping for his lack of movement is being so strong with the dark side. He can just grab you and toss you and just force choke you. And like if you don't have that Force training to like push against that, like you're fucked.
Yeah, you remove your lightsaber and shit like that.
Exactly, like it's nothing because the third sister fight. The third sister in Kenobi was a youngling that watched Anakin kill all of the younglings at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. So she grew up in the dark side after Order 66, after the death of the Jedi, despising Vader and just wanting nothing more than to kill him. So she got close to him just to get that opportunity, to the point that when she took it, she didn't even realize how outclassed she was. Like she didn't even, because Vader gave her every opportunity to win that fight. Like she busts out with the lightsabers they use in the dark lightsabers they use in Star Wars Rebels, where they spin and have blades on both sides. Darth Vader is so strong with the Force, he can stop it from spinning with one hand. Because like even in the sequels, you see Rey trying to stop things with two hands, right? And like immediately before that fight, we think third sister might be kind of good with the Force because she almost stops a spaceship. Or was it Vader that did that?
No, that was Vader.
It was Vader that did it? Oh my god, Vader's so fucking tight.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Because third sister couldn't do that because like I think it was episode 2 I was bitching that like the freight ship that has Leia and Kenobi on it just gets away. And just flies away immediately in front of third sister. If that was Vader, he would have just stopped it right there with the Force. Correct. And just held it in place and just like brought it back to him.
And there's also been other comparisons, even in Rogue One, or even in episode,
Rogue One's a really good example.
Or even in episode 4 too, where you see Vader just slightly bending his arm at the elbow and going like this, and he has a full like mid-air.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even have to try that hard to put you up there.
Yeah.
And then on Rogue One, when he's going through the hallway on that ship to get to the information,
right?
You see him like literally grasp somebody full like close-fisted up on the roof.
I think the most interesting part of the Rogue One hallway fight with Vader is just the beginning of that fight because it's all wrist movement. Because even in this episode, in episode 5 of Kenobi, when we see Kenobi like pushing back lightsaber blast, he's using both hands and all his focus is on hitting every blaster shot. Like Vader does that in a limited amount of space in a hallway with just his wrist. Like he's not even moving his arm at the elbow. It's just all wrist movements, like left, right. Like his attunement to the Force is so much that it's not even that he's able to judge and like feel where the blast is going to be. It's like he knows what your movement is ahead of time.
Through rage.
Just sheer rage. He can almost predict your movements just on your fucking hand placement. And like just feeling the Force out. It's just insane because right here, like Vader stops a spaceship with one hand, not even two hands.
A decoy spaceship once where they try to flee Asgard style.
Right.
fucking he just like slightly picks it up, not even above like his shoulder, like slightly picks up his hand and he's like fucking holding it, and you see the fucking thrusters going like,
you know when we saw that, you know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of one of all of what's the anime series called? Help me.
Which one?
The whole series that's all non-canon originals. The anime one. No. The Star Wars anime.
Oh,
on
Visions.
Visions.
Oh.
It reminds me of Star Wars Visions, which is all non-canon anime studios making like their own adaptation of the Star Wars universe.
Which we're getting a second season.
We're getting a second season. There's an episode in like the very first one. I think it's the twins, where like one of them is able to stop a whole ass spaceship with their hand. We'd never seen that before.
No, the first one's the one that you don't like, the Samurai one.
Oh, that one's whack. The first Studio Trigger one,
yes,
which is called the Twins. The evil girl twin is able to stop a spaceship with one hand. We'd basically never seen that in Star Wars before that point. I was fucking giddy watching that. I was just like, holy shit, they're watching the non-canon stuff. Holy shit, the writers of Lucasfilms are watching the non-canon stuff and they're incorporating it into canon. I was fucking so happy. Like, this is why I like Star Wars, because like it's one of those like the MCU almost, where like being part of the community that talks about it online and like just geeks out about it and tries to interpret things on our own is like half the enjoyment of being like an enjoyer of the series, right? Mm-hmm. So just watching that in Visions was like, oh, that's cool, but it's not canon, right? Mm-hmm. Watching Vader do that, it like who else could do that but Vader, because who out of sheer rage could stop a spaceship from taking off?
And not only that, the chilling back and forth, not even back and forth, it was like a one-way conversation with Vader talking to the third sister. It's like, oh, Padawan, you'll always be a Padawan. It's like, don't you get it? It's like, I used you to get here and I knew you were gonna kill me.
And I think what hurts that much more is I was a really, really, really big fan of Star Wars Clone Wars, right? Yeah. And the ending of Clone Wars is that Ahsoka Tano like basically descends from the Jedi because she thinks they're unfair and they're corrupt, and Anakin stays with them, not because he's righteous or attuned with the light side of the Force, but because he wanted to become a master. He let the person he trained and like lived with and was a father figure for like 4 or 5 years descend from their organization because he had selfish reasons to do so. And that reminds me of the fight that they have in Star Wars Rebels, where she's basically telling him that. It's just like, dog, you were my fucking father. You were my third parent as far as I'm concerned. You helped raise me, and you are the most disgusting person in the whole fucking universe right now. It just like, this is
the
like
parallels.
This is
awesome.
15 years of me just knowing the medium, right? Which is like, it feels rewarding as a fan that I get to be like, holy fuck, like this feels like I am being treated. This is fan service. I am being treated for knowing the canon in this episode right now. Like, if you're an average person, if like I was watching it with Karen, she was just like, "Oh, that's cool," but it wasn't over the top for her or anything. Like, it wasn't.
I told Vinny all the time. I'm like, it sucks that you're not a Star Wars fan. It sucks that you're not a Star Wars nerd, because if you were watching this when I'm watching this,
I have never been able to get Karen through an entire Star Wars movie that's not Rebels. She loves Rebels. I mean not Rebels. Fucking Rogue One. Rogue One. I can't, like, she loves Rogue One, like instantly.
Rogue One is a great movie,
but I can't get her to sit through anything that's not Rogue One. Because Rogue One is the most easily accessible because it's the most Hollywood. Every other movie needs you to just be a Star Wars fan to watch it, which kind of sucks. Anyway, so Vader, what all this talking about, Vader is basically having a one-sided conversation with third sister, being like, you're a Padawan, you were a fucking youngling when I killed everybody, you're lucky I didn't fucking kill your bitch ass, but you were hiding too, you don't think I knew where you were hiding? I could feel you through the Force. I let you live, I let you get close to me, I let you become part of this Jedi hunting force.
I felt the light inside of you, bitch.
And she's a cunt. Like, she's like that terrible person through these 5 episodes. But then right here, like, Vader's bullying her, and we're just like, hey, be nice, bro. hey, you're going too far. That's me.
And then she gets murdered. She gets
Because it's bad, too. Because he gives her so many chances. Because,
Yeah.
like, he lets her bust out her lightsaber that's double-sided and can spin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he stops it with the Force and just, like, throws it to the side. He's able to, like, just... He's barely using his own lightsaber.
He splits that level lightsaber, gives her one.
Right. So, like, his power in the Force, like, is how he's coping with her speed and agility, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's just able to throw it or, like, bring her blade to him, splits it in half because it probably has 2 kyber crystals, hands one half to her, and she's like, I'll fight with your second half. Like, don't even worry about it. I won't even fight with mine.
Mm-hmm.
We can just fight with these 2. And he's just holding her off so easily. She gets close, even for a second, thinks she has an opening. He just tosses her to the side with the Force. And, like, it gets to the point that, like, she disarms him, and she's really like, haha, I got you. And he's just like, I kind of let you do that. And he just, like, tosses her blade with the Force and grabs both of them with the Force. And now he's dual-wielding them. And he's just kind of like, am I going to toss it to you again? You already fucked up. Like,
And then, like, the Force aspect, too, is so crazy. Like, if you're talking about
it's just cool because we've never seen the
Yeah.
Vader use this much of the Force. This was always the canon explanation, but we never saw it in a movie or, like, a canon, real-world mechanism. So, like, the show feel like it's so short. I can't believe it's already ending next week. But, like, it makes so much sense, like, that this is how he fights. You know what I mean? Like, he just has this overwhelming presence in the dark side of the Force, and the mobility doesn't matter. Like, it's almost like him having a lightsaber doesn't matter anymore, because that was a thing that Palpatine did in the Clone Wars, where in the Clone Wars, when Palpatine fights as, like, this hooded figure that the main cast doesn't actually know it's Palpatine, but as an audience we obviously do because we know who fucking Lord Sidious is. He's fighting like how Yoda fights, but with 2 lightsabers, right? Just all these spins and flips and kicks, and just, like, he's so agile and crazy, and he can defeat Darth Maul and his brother in, like, 30 seconds, just, like, he's so powerful with it.
Mm-hmm.
But Vader doesn't have that anymore. He hasn't had that in 10 years. So all of his training just has to be just sitting in the back of the tank, just brooding on all that hate and animosity, just stewing in the dark side of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
He might have, honestly, if I'm being honest, I think Darth Vader, this is completely fan theory, but I think Darth Vader is more strong in the Force than Darth Sidious is. But Darth Sidious has the power of Force lightning, which is a dark side power. Vader can't do anything against that because he's all mechanical.
Well, yeah, and when we talk about Star Wars, we talk about, you know, the yin and the yang, the balance in the Force. If you're gonna have this ultimate good, you're gonna have this ultimate bad, and if you have this ultimate bad, you're gonna have this ultimate bad, but good, and all this fucking bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, yeah, like, you're right, but that's why I really think that, like, if it was Darth Vader with all of his limbs and none of these mechanical components, he could have absolutely beat Darth Sidious in a fight.
Oh, fucking
And that's part of the Force, too, because the reason why I think it was Darth... No, I don't know. I can't remember which Darth it was, but Darth Plagueis told Darth Sidious that there could only be 2 people in the Sith, which is why the... what are they called in Kenobi, the people that are hunting the Jedi?
The Inquisitors?
The Inquisitors, thank you. The Inquisitors are technically not Sith, because there can only be 2 members of the Sith. Because the thing about the dark side is that it corrupts all. So there used to be dark side Sith colleges and schools of thought, but because the dark side's so evil and all-consuming, they would all just kill each other at the end of the day. So the point of the master is always to be the one that holds all the information and knows all and is the strongest in the dark side of the Force. The point of the apprentice is to be the one to try to attain that and try to become the strongest, which is he's trying to learn from the master and trying to learn more of the dark side of the Force, which, because he's supposed to confront his leader, his master, the leader of the Sith. But I think that's why Darth Sidious fell, because Darth Vader fell, because he purposely kept Darth Vader in check, because he made it to the point with all of these electronic components that Darth Vader could never actually confront him in a fight, because Darth Sidious always had his weakness, which is Force lightning. So Darth Sidious, being selfish and wanting to hold power like that, even though he's probably the most successful dark side user in Star Wars canon, that fucked him up because it was his own selfishness and trying to keep his apprentice in check.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm taking all this just off one episode that has nothing to do with any of that, because like Darth Vader just like throws third sister's lightsaber to the side and just stabs her through the gut, and then they just kind of leave her to die.
Yeah,
which is it's a gruesome ending, but it's like kind of what she deserves and kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah,
because they're dark side users; they don't have any empathy.
Yeah, and like you said, she's a bitch throughout the whole thing.
Right. And honestly, I think the actress did a really good job. All 5 of these episodes, I cannot believe that these fucking racist nerds were like bitching at her and like basically forced her off of social media. Like, she's the best part of this season. Like, maybe even more than Ewan McGregor, which is saying something. Like, Third Sister might have been the best part of the series.
Yeah, because I mean, the backstory alone of her surviving like Order 666 through manipulation of Anakin.
Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But have you been watching our latest Marvel project,
Miss Marvel?
Miss Marvel.
I like it. I don't like. It's not about anything yet. Don't get me wrong.
It's turning red.
It is turning red. If Turning Red was like trying to teach puberty and like coming of age in like an all women family of Chinese Americans
and trying to liberate yourself from your family ties or not your family ties, your family expectations or your family.
It's funny because they're both feminism while pushing against the matriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which is the matriarchy, like analogous to the opposite, the patriarchy. It's about like a woman-run family and organization. Like the women are the leaders here,
head of the house, mother.
Exactly, and that's what Miss Marvel is. But it's Pakistani of origin. Like I thought it was really, really like it sounds corny. It sounds corny. It sounds like the stupid corny things that like you'd see on like YouTube or Twitter. It's just like it's cool seeing people of a different culture just be normal, but having a different culture. Mm-hmm. Because like Pakistani people are either never in media or confused with Afghanis or Iraqis or Indians or whatever, but they're always treated as like what, terrorists or something just evil.
Well, the latest what is it called, Top Gun Maverick,
right? Like
it doesn't specify the bad guy.
I didn't watch it.
I haven't either, but I read I was reading that it doesn't target a market.
Cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Like people I went to high school with were talking about it really well. Everyone in the office would not shut the fuck up about it. Mm-hmm. But like I work in like an office. Like mm-hmm. It's just all 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old people just talking about shit. So when they recommend something, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
and going back to Ms. Marvel and Turning Red. I can't believe Turning Red was never on the theaters.
It wasn't?
It wasn't. It went straight to Disney Plus.
Honestly, that's crazy because I was at Disneyland like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago. And like I feel like Turning Red had like really big like marketed section inside of the stores. Like it looked like Turning Red was being marketed really fucking hard.
No, sir.
That's crazy because. So yeah, it's just Pakistani people just being regular Pakistani people. Mm-hmm. Like Pakistan was not a nation until like the 1960s because England, just like most of the past 200 years of history, was just fucking up, right? Mm-hmm. And like overtook an entire subcontinent of India, which included modern day Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh. Mm-hmm. Like anything like south of like the Hindu region to include like up until bordering the Indian Ocean. And it was just kind of like, hey, this is ours now because we decided.
Mm-hmm. But you guys can't do anything.
And you guys can't do anything about it. And then, like, as the monarchy started losing its power, they relinquished power to the nation of India. But we started getting cases. It's one of the rare situations of like normally it's Christianity like pushing against like a sub-minority and like beating them up, like. Well, I guess I'm biased because I'm thinking American history. Like, it's Christians beating up on Native Americans. It's Christians beating up on Catholics. It's it's Christian
And
Americans
all the
being
Mexicans,
Christian Americans being up on
all the indigenous
everybody. You know what I mean? But that's most of American history is just
Most of history.
is Protestant Christians just beating up on everybody else.
Uh-huh.
But this is one of the cases where India Hindus, were abusing the Muslim minority to the point that England basically came back into the picture and was just like, hey, like you can't be fucking mass murdering a bunch of Muslims, give them their own place to live. So they gave them two separate nations, being both Pakistan and Bangladesh. So Pakistani culture is just Muslim Indian culture. Like they didn't have a culture outside of like the 1960s.
Well, it's almost like the Cambodians, man. The
Yes.
Cambodians were in such like political distraught that I think one of their leaders like destroyed every history book or every like monument, every like temple, every like thing that like and like to the Cambodia point, it happened like the same thing. Like their culture did not. They're trying to find their own roots. Still. Yeah.
Well, a lot of South American cultures are like that too, because, I guess that's true, but not true, because Spain was pushed out of the Americas a lot longer than maybe the India example or the Cambodian example.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I remember reading that there were a lot of examples of like cultural identity shifts, like in what it meant to be like Central American or Southern American, like immediately after Spain was pushed out. Because if you even think about Haiti or a lot of the Bahamas and stuff like that, they were entirely Spanish culture. But we don't think about that right now, right? A lot of that changed after the Spanish-American War and stuff like that, which was already a much bigger amount of time than we've given some place like India. So Miss Marvel showing just Muslims just being regular Muslims. And it's cool because, like, not only do they... It's not like culture war stuff because they're not like praising what it means to be Islamic or to be a Muslim.
They're just being Islamic.
They're just being Muslim. You know what I mean? So like one of the shocking points was in episode 2 of Miss Marvel where they're in the mosque. They go to church, you know what I mean? They're just regular, devout Muslims. They're not even the most devout. They're just so used to Muslim culture that they just go to church because that's what you do, right? I knew Mormon people when I was in high school like that. We're probably the furthest thing from Mormon on the weekends, but they were just raised that you go to church 2-3 times a week, so that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
So they go to church, and the women are behind a partition. They're all in church on mats, and they're praying and they're kneeling and they're listening to the lecture, is what they call it, not a sermon, a la like Christianity or Catholicism. But the women are behind a partition because
and their side of the partition is like falling apart.
It's falling apart. It like one of the girls gets her shoes stolen, which are fucking Balenciagas. Like, why the fuck are you wearing Balenciagas to like put them non-locked up? So you just gave away a pair of $1,200 sneakers, whatever. And it's Jersey City. I thought that was cool too. Like, I've never seen any media out of Jersey City that's not How I Met Your Mother talking about gambling. It's not being very critical of
anything
of Islam. Well, it kind of wants to bring up that sexist aspect, but it's not critical of it. It's just showing you that's
how it is.
Yeah, that's just how it is, right? Like in the way they talk about the church as a family, just like all the old men are just the uncles, right? Like when they're running for positions inside the church to run for, like the president of, I don't know, the downtown Jersey City Muslim Society, like they lobby other people, and they're all at the flea market at the end of the day. Essentially, it's kind of what it was like a little feria, but you know what I mean. It's like a
town party.
Yeah, like it's just middle of downtown,
A block party.
offhand little shops, but there's also a little Ferris wheel and there's snacks and stuff like that.
State fair almost.
Yeah, but like it looks like an every weekend kind of thing. And so like our main girl, if she wants to be the president of the church, she needs to lobby the uncles. Is how she puts it. Like just the older Muslim men that are part of the church. And women, which like and it's cool because it gives them a voice, because it kind of shows you the sexism right there. It shows you how like the women just obviously have less in the church. But then immediately, like when she starts lobbying the uncles, it's just kind of like, oh, you're not going to support me even though I'm your daughter's best friend? Like, you have no reason not to support me. Is it just because I'm a woman? And like she starts putting people like in the corner like that. It's just like you have no option but to vote for it because there's no reason not to. No one else is really gunning for the position, and they don't deserve it even if they are.
Yeah.
It's neat. I like the new powers. I understand nerds are mad about the powers because she was essentially just Mr. Fantastic before in the comics.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't really care. It's fun. I like to watch it. The characters are
it feels kind
goofy.
It feels kind of Spider-Man-y.
It feels kiddie.
It's a more kiddie Spider-Man. It feels because like Spider-Man, every time they reintroduce Spider-Man, it's him trying to learn his powers, trying to learn what it means to save people. But her,
am I good? Am I bad?
Exactly. But her, it's not her uncle dies off the bat or something like that. It's just her really being like, I want to save this kid that's hanging off this fucking roof. I can't really judge my fucking platform blast things, and it ends on a cliffhanger. She sees a vision of the woman who's the mother of her crush, who the crush was totally planted there by this older woman to try to like
fish her out and
subvert her and try to. We don't even know what's going on with her yet. We'll talk about it more next week, maybe.
I guess so.
Yeah. Again, enter the giveaway. Follow on social media. Subscribe. Leave reviews. Ding the notification bell on YouTube. We fucking love y'all.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
My name is Drew Philip Elias. This is Aldo Mendez. This has been Between
Nerds.
Nerds.
Nerds.